Agenda is Resolution 2013-057, authorizing the execution of partnership between the State Health Insurance Benefits Advisors, Washington State Office, with the City of Pacific. So, as we had discussed at council meetings, did you have any additional information on this, Betty, from the workshop? No. Okay. So anyway, this resolution basically enters us into agreement and allows services in for the seniors, and Sheba is to provide all the services and the background checks and everything to provide these services to our citizens over at the state.
Make a motion to approve resolution 13-057. Second.
Would you like to speak on your motion, Councilman Secretary?
Basically, what we're looking at here is just a formality. It's something that there's no way we can go against it. I mean, it's 100% spelled out here, and it is a total benefit to our seniors and stuff.
Councilman Holtby, would you like to speak?
No further comments.
Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Roll call of council on resolution 2013-057.
Fred Walker.
Aye.
John Jones.
Aye.
Josh Putnam.
Aye.
James McMahon.
Aye.
Gary Holtby.
Aye.
Clint Steiger.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next item is resolution 2013-058, authorizing the execution of a special services vehicle agreement between King County and the City of Pacific. And again, as discussed at the workshop, this just renews our contract. We have verified that the insurance requirements, our current insurance does meet those requirements.
Move to approve resolution 2013-058.
Second.
Councilman Jones, would you like to speak to your motion?
It's a very vital necessity for our human services and the community, and we've got an ongoing contract agreement with King County. It's to our advantage to maintain.
I'm not sure who got the second. Councilman Steiger? Councilman Steiger?
Oh, I thought he got it.
Refer
Well, there again, it's just a formality, which we've had this contract going on for as near as I can remember. It's probably been 15 years, 16 years that we've had access to this van, and they on probably a 2-year rotation basis approximately, they have updated the van for us, and also we have been in line at times to get smaller vans. We have that green van that we use around here. That was an excess van that they just donated to us. And we have another van sitting over in the bullpen over there. I don't know why it's not being used. I don't know what's wrong with it. But that was another surplus van that was donated to us. And some things have just been ignored. But Leanne and I plan on getting in and down the road here and look at some of these things that just been sitting around, and either we put them in use or we dispose of them.
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? No further comments from council? Seeing none, roll call council on resolution 2013-058.
Fred Walker.
Aye.
John Jones.
Aye.
Josh Putnam.
Aye.
James McMahon.
Aye.
Gary Holtby.
Aye.
Clint Steiger.
Done.
Motion carried. Resolution number 2013-061, authorizing the execution of South County Area Transportation Corridor Agreement. And this basically renews our agreement. It's $100 a year membership fee, which keeps our seat at the table. And this is how this is a very important component for the City of Pacific as well, that we are there and we get to be a part of these different grants and part of the solution of bringing these things forward and enter into those coalitions that will make a lot of these entertain a motion from council.
Move to approve resolution 2013-061.
Second.
Councilman Putnam?
That's been a useful organization for us to date, and I think we'd be well advised to remain in.
Councilman Jones?
No further. I'm looking at it right now. Could you clarify again what was the fee?
It's $100 a year, I
Okay,
think.
that's all. I thought I heard you say that, but I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I heard it correctly.
The membership fee per city. Allows us to vote. Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Any further comments from council? Roll call of council on resolution 2013-061.
Fred Walker, John Jones,
Aye.
Josh Putnam,
Aye.
James McMahon,
Aye.
Gary Holsey,
Aye.
Russ Stigers.
All right,
Okay, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is Ordinance 1847, authorizing the city attorney of the city of Summer acting as special superior court of the state of Washington in and for Pierce County under the, I can't even read it. What happened? Under the right of eminent domain for acquisition of certain rights in real estate and purpose of providing transportation system improvements known as 136th Avenue Valentine Improvement Project, increasing public safety by widening the road and construction of curb, gutter, and sidewalk, and declaring an emergency. Thank you very
Good
much.
evening again, Mayor and Council. Jeff Faraday with White House Law Group. This ordinance again was before you at your study session last week, and I'm happy to take any questions that the council might have. I'm also happy to give a brief overview of how the process works if that's necessary, but I also want to be respectful of your very full agenda tonight, so I'll defer to the council.
I have a question, and I looked at the updated sheet, and it's good news to hear that things have progressed so much since last week. The two that are in red, as I look at the notes, it seems to be disagreements about where the right-of-way lies and where the boundaries are.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, which seems like a different issue than just money. For instance, yeah, it's different than just money. Are these easily resolved issues, or between the two of you think that it's something Mr. Terry may be in?
I think it's still somewhat tied to money, because obviously if they think the right of way is further towards the road, they have more property, we need to acquire more.
Right.
I think they're just, especially with the first one, I think on the list, yes, they have a survey that does differ somewhat from what I measured in the field, and I have asked our surveyors to look into that issue and try resolving it. Other than that, the second red, I think they've realized that the right of way is where it is. It's just a hard pill to swallow. So yeah, truthfully, the red, just because I'm feeling there's a little bit more fight in those two. And the rest of them, we're pretty much, we're ready to go. Can I get signatures by Wednesday? Because that's kind of our, like I said, the emergency and keeping this moving forward and fast. If we can't get signatures by Wednesday, we will be filing the lawsuit. Is that what that truly is? Okay.
What we're saying to do, unless directed otherwise, would be with certain property owners that are in the yellow, I think we're going to wait until Wednesday, because as I understand it, the folks at Sunder who have been contacting these people directly, because we haven't been yet, have indicated to them that Wednesday noon is sort of the drop dead date. I think on the red ones, we might file tomorrow, assuming that the council does go ahead and adopt the condemnation ordinance, just again to get the ball moving, because time is extremely critical here. And there's one other one that, the only other one that might go tomorrow is the over parcel, not because there's lack of cooperation there, as much as because the title picture is so cloudy that it's very, very unlikely that we would be able to get clear title to whatever our contact person would be willing to sign. because in all likelihood, that person's signature is not going to be enough to get us clear title for the rights that we're seeking, so we'd probably file on that one tomorrow as well. But with respect to all of the others, we intend to wait until that Wednesday meeting deadline passes.
Councilmember Putnam.
On the two in red where they disagree about where the right-of-way is, there's no disagreement about the line that you want to draw. It's only the line where the existing line is. There's no disagreement about how far you're going to move towards their buildings. It's how far out from their buildings do they own.
Correct.
Councilmember Johnson.
The only other question I have is just to make sure the legality that all of the ascribed attorneys have reviewed this ordinance and everything is in order. City attorneys, both sides, that's all.
Been attorney to death yet.
Yeah.
Probably means that nobody can understand.
No, it looks pretty.
Councilmember.
I move to approve ordinance number 1847.
Second.
Councilmember Holsey, would you like to speak to the motion?
We're on a close schedule here. We need to start making things happen rather than keep dragging our feet. And I think that it'd be appropriate that we go ahead and pass this ordinance.
Councilmember Johnson.
As discussed last meeting and several of our previous meetings related to the Balancing Road project, it's imperative that we continue to move forward. We have full funding and we cannot afford to lose that funding for this project in June. And it is to the advantage of the city's future as well as Sumner's that road gets completed out.
Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Any other comments from council? Okay. I'm sorry.
Dave Stuckey.
Come on up to the microphone, please, Mr. Stuckey.
Dave Stuckey, 133 4th Avenue Southwest. I listened to Mr. Scroggins talk about the sewer line that goes right under that road. It's partially plugged or not straight. And you've got the whole road dug and torn up. And doing that, isn't that the time to make a correction on that while you've got everything apart? I mean, if it requires an additional funding, does the city have the extra funding to go ahead and put that in while you've got it apart, instead of tearing up the road and the additional time to repair the sewer problem that you have? Just a question.
I'm going to allow you to fill that.
Intuitively, it sounds good to do it while we have the road torn apart, but unfortunately that sewer is deep, my understanding. I did video it, actually City Pacific videoed it, provided me the information so I could review it. It has its issues, but to go down and fix it, we're probably $6 million plus, just for Valentine. I've heard that there's other sections and other parts that Mr. Scroggins is not impressed with, but obviously Valentine is my project, and I've identified at least the immediate issues that I can address while we're there that aren't too deep. So some side sewers where we're getting infiltration from groundwater. And I think, my understanding, I provided the video back to the City Pacific. They're going to re-review it and see what's going on downstream. It looks like there might have been a plug that maybe just didn't get dislodged when the video was going on. So it sounds like there's more investigation happening. But as with all sewers that happen in the valley, they all have bellies in them. It's just how drastic a belly. So, yeah, it would be really nice, but I don't think another $6 million plus is something we can cough up quickly and make the project happen.
Borrow big versus a boring machine.
Any other comments from the audience? Any further comments from council? Roll call of council on ordinance number 1847.
Fred Walker.
Aye.
John Jones.
Aye.
Josh Putnam.
Aye.
James McMahon.
Aye.
Gary Holsey.
Aye.
Clint Steiger.
Right.
Motion carries.